Hello everyone, so I'm Judith Ashar, and today I'm presenting my CSP, ALMA, a school-based trauma healing program for Syrian youth. So, Chapter 1, the Caesar Act. A military photographer known by his code name Caesar and recognizable for the blue hoodie was responsible for taking photographs of Syrians who died under torture and inhumane conditions in Assad regime prisons. After 2 years of smuggling photographs in USB drives, he fled Syria to Qatar, where he worked with a law firm to expose the atrocities of the Assad regime. Then in 2014, he exposed 6,786 photographs of victims who died under very inhumane conditions. That led the US government to impose sanctions known as Caesar Syria Civilian Protection Act of 2019 to impose sanctions on the officials of Syria and anyone who undergoes some kind of transactions to prevent the crimes. In 2014, mainly December 8, the Syrian rebels opened the prison, freeing many civilians, although more than 100,000 of people were kept unseen till now. And now, after that, Caesar revealed his identity as Farid al-Madhan, and he spoke about the very bad work conditions that these prisoners were kept and then died. Now, let's go back into 2011, where I witnessed war crime. I remember the protests from my balcony. People were marching, were singing for hope and peace, asking for freedom, asking for a reform. But the regime didn't like that. They answered that with bullets without any space for dialogue. And then many armed groups formed, including the Free Syrian Army, and were plunged in the war in the country. They bombed each and every neighborhood that was seen as disloyal, including my neighborhood, mainly Bab Tadmor in Old Homs. Then my family started fleeing from one place to another between Homs and Damascus, just trying to save our lives. And I still, up till now, remember the bad scene, the sight of the blood, the sight of dead bodies, the sounds of bombs, and everything that's related to that scene. Then came that night when the forces of the regime stormed our home, arresting my father and my uncles, and that was the last time I saw any of them. Now, let's go to chapter 3, my mom. By the end of 2013, we fled to Lebanon, trying to save our lives. When we went to Lebanon, none of the schools accepted to register us as Syrians, so we had to study in an NGO to learn French. Then my mom, after appealing to the UNHCR hundreds of times, they accepted to enroll us in a UNHCR-funded schools for 4 years for myself and my siblings and my cousins. During that time, my mother tried her best just to make us feel better, just to make us feel hope. So she used to take us to the park or to the beach, and she always reminded us that with hope and with determination, we can shape our own future no matter what. And she says that after years of perseverance, her best achievement was believing in us. I went to study at AUB, my brother at AUC, and my sister at LAU. We're all Maki scholars, by the way. Chapter 4, In the Shadows of Trauma. After the fall of the regime, I never forget that night. Before. For the first time, I felt some hope of finally saying the word Baba. But amid of the celebration where people in Tripoli were celebrating and everywhere were celebrating the fall of the Assad regime, me, myself, my mother, my sisters and brother and everyone who lost someone were looking for hope. We were looking between the names of the prisoners who were released for my father or uncle. Not every story has a perfect ending, and ours is the same. I never saw the name of my father or find a grave for my father or my uncles. Before that, during the night, my sister ALMA said, I do want to go back to Homs, but why would I if the one I long to see the most has gone? I think I can finally say that our father is not missing, but rather was killed. She was the one only brave enough to say it out loud. From there, I'm inspiring my intervention, pilot intervention ALMA, which is a school-based trauma for healing Syrian youth. We need such an intervention before going back to Syria because, like me, my siblings, and many others, we need to heal the trauma that we faced in the war before going back. Otherwise, we are associating the the trauma to the land itself, to Syria. So, the pilot intervention is inspired by a book written by Dr. Richard Mollica, Healing Invisible Wounds. The A stands for anchor, meaning creating a safe space for grounding and connection. This intervention will be conducted at Adnan al-Jisr High School, where my youngest sister currently studies. And since I'm not a psychology major, I'll need the assistant from the Restart Center that's based in Tripoli and helping the victims of war trauma. So the first step is to establish a safe space where everyone can share their experiences. And the L stands for loss, which means acknowledging pain and honoring what has been lost. Youth are guided to explore and give language to their losses, whether loved ones, homes, time, or safety. So meaningful activities like writing letters to the lost ones or planting trees can help them feel a bit relieved. The M stands for memory, sharing stories as a path for healing. So memory is a bridge between past and present, and storytelling guided by the discussion can be used to help youth reflect on the personal and shared memories. And the A stands for acceptance, which means moving forward without forgetting. Healing doesn't mean erasing the past, but learning to accept it without being destroyed by it. This stage invites youth to integrate the experience and make meaning from them. And they can begin imagining a future based on their experiences. This intervention should be conducted between 5 to 3 sessions over a month, but therapists should encourage participants who need more help to attend more sessions depending on the depth of their trauma. In conclusion, I see that each and every Syrian who sees Syria as a place for trauma should be encouraged to speak up, to be heard. As reflecting my story has helped me to process the trauma, it would help too many other Syrians to feel Syria as a land of possibilities and future and not as a place for war. Thank you everyone for listening.